Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. And it is a brand new day, and it is kind of cloudy and chill and damp, but it's supposed to get sunny periodically and then cloudy and damp again, so thumbs up for that. I enjoy that kind of weather. It makes it a pain to go out walkies in if you don't want to carry an umbrella, but it's pleasant otherwise. Thumbs up for that. And I hope you... Bleh, English. I hope your day is good no matter where you are when you are listening to this or watching. Thumbs up for that. I do not have a lot written down up there, and I'll kind of explain why that is. But on the other front, I am still holding steady at my weight, 205. I had 2 cups of yogurt and half a cup of chili, and I'm maintaining my weight on that. Thumbs up. Anyway, though, the big thing that broke my heart yesterday, there's no jellyfish up here, you'll notice. I've had that plastic jellyfish that I've had that I occasionally turn on and it looks like the tendrils are wiggling. Well, I had it more in the back where this line is, that bit of light up cord. When I came back from walkies last night, I opened up my door. And because I had my window open, it sucked the air inward, which blew the curtain inward, which dragged the cord inward and into the tendrils of the jellyfish. Now, because it's a solid bit of plastic and not, well, the opposite of solid and unmoving, because good God, my brain this morning, it got tangled, and so when the curtain went back in, it yanked the thing off of the edge, and it hit the ground, and tendrils broke off level with the holes that you stick them into, so there's no way to get the plastic that is in there out, nor do I have any tendrils to replace them, so it's just busted and useless. And it was such a weird thing, again, because the air burst inward and pushed the curtain that got that line of dangly bit there to get into the tendrils and pull it off. First time that happened. Life is life, though. After all, the perversity of the inanimate tends towards the maximum. And then, yesterday, I talked about how at noon I went to take my noontime meds, which would normally have gabapentin in it. And there was none because I remembered, oh yeah, I was supposed to order and refill and pick up the gabapentin because I was going to be out on Saturday. So I went without my noon dosage and called it in. And they said we close at 7, so I said I'll be there before 7 o'clock. And at 6:37, I went, oh no, because I remembered I hadn't gone to Walmart yet to pick up my meds. So I had to quickly stop everything I was doing, grab my stuff, because I don't have my wallet and such in my pants until I'm out ready to go. I have a bucket in the back on a table with my wallet, with the carry-on tissues that I use when I'm out walking, so if I need to blow my nose, carry my phone, that sort of such. They're all in the bucket. So I had to grab all this stuff, grab one of the Walmart bags because I wanted to grab some stuff to eat there, even if I didn't make it in time, and I headed out the door. Again, my leg is killing me right now. It is in the background pain part of the issue. if your scale of pain is 0, nothing, to 10, the worst possible, anything above 5 for me is in the foreground demanding my attention. Below that, background noise. It's background noise right now. I've been trying not to stress it out because I want this thing to heal up and continue to get better. Because I was at a point where I could barely make it to Walmart. But Walmart's about a mile away. About. Luckily. Because a full mile, if you're race walking at 3 miles an hour, will take you 20 minutes, which means I'd make it there in time for them to close and then I arrive. So I had to rush even faster. And I was almost running, but really stressing that leg out, making the trip. But I made it 15 minutes from here to there, almost running. I was race walking so fast. Did my leg feel good? Oh God, no. It stressed everything out. But I survived and I got my meds. I do not recommend leaving things for the very last moment because that was rough. But then I made it there, and I mentioned yesterday how I was going to gather up all the loose bits and change and bits of scraps of money that I had, and I did. And I stopped off over at our local pot shop one more day, and I picked up 2 half-gram oil-infused pre-rolls around 30% THC, and I smoked them both on my way back here. I don't really feel great amounts of anything. I get pain relief, even though there's no CBDs, and CBDs in cannabis, good God, CBDs are primarily the pain control thing. They don't do anything else. They don't activate anything psychoactive. They deal with just pains and stuff like that. They don't really have any strains of cannabis out there anymore with CBDs in them. Luckily for me, though, THC does work for at least some pain control. So my leg wasn't hurting too bad by the time I got back, even though my back was killing me by the time I had to go to bed. But that's because this chair, as good as many parts of it are, it does not have good back support. I have a back support pillow behind my back in the chair, and it still has very, very poor support. It's all plastic, black plastic, and it just gives when you lean. And I don't need things to give. But unfortunately, that's what I have. So I have to generally pull myself back like this toward the end of the night because everything is just killing me. Thumbs up on that. But I did that, and this morning I got out of bed early, and I've been taking it easy. In fact, I was taking it easy enough that I recorded some Call of Juarez Gunslinger, which is what's playing in the background. Normally these days I'm shooting for like an every other day I have 2 videos. But I've been having fun recording, and so why not record? So that's what's going on there. And then been watching videos, which ties into this real quick. Pretty much the last thing I've got that's really important and on the top of my head. There's other little things I want to say, but this is an unhinged music kind of thing. When music isn't actually unhinged, but sounds like it threatens to be so. Now this is very subjective, because what I may think sounds barely restrained from becoming unhinged, you may listen to and go, okay, that sounds normal. Here's something I think sounds unhinged, and then I listen to it and I'm like, that's Muzak. What's unhinged about this? Everything is subjective. But while there are some songs directly that are that way, one of which is I cannot remember the name of the song, but it's on the soundtrack to The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover. It is the very, very last song, and it is a song of mounting insanity. And I like that one. It's very, very good, very powerful. But what I'm speaking specifically in this case is, again, I'm talked a couple of times now about, well, many times about Pete and Baz, the UK drill rap duo. But in many of their videos, they have a lot of their older friends. And one of them is this fellow called Norman, or goes by Norman Payne. And I've talked about Norman Payne because he accidentally, after going out and getting drunk, killed 2 people while driving, tried to hide it, got caught out, spent 18 years in prison, and when he got out, his wife had taken the kids and vanished. His parents had died. He had nothing and no one. He turned to drugs and spent years just on the street as an addict. But has gotten clean and has sang many songs about the whole situation. And the first one that I heard, Norman Payne Sindhu Sesh from Sindhu World, is incredibly raw and incredibly painful. But part of that helps it for me is there is a very unhinged, for me, again, tone to the music, the beat that is being played that he's singing over. Because not only does it have just, normal bass, normal this, normal that, it's roughly pretty beat based, but it's normal music. But there's also this higher pitched, sort of jangling, almost discordant part playing on top of it. And that, for me, makes it sound barely restrained and holding itself in, which fits for what's being talked about in the song, the man's pain. And from people in comments have pointed out some things that really point out what he's talking about as he's singing these lyrics. There's one where he's in the chorus, he yells, "Well, what you gonna do when the big bad wolf comes knocking at your door?" And at first it sounds like, well, what are you going to do if somebody bad comes at your door? But he is knocking at his own head when it's the big bad wolf knocking at your door. Not knocking at your door is what are you going to do when that darkness is there, right there, and it demands to be let in. And that puts an entirely different focus on it. Because, it is if you have never heard it, it's not rap, exactly. I don't know what you'd identify it as. But it is raw and painful. Ugh. And you should listen to it. I tend to cry. It is painful. But if you could like, comment, share, and subscribe, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. Yay! Each one of my Patreon patrons, you are beautiful and awesome people. Thumbs up and thank you. Even though, as stated, I am trying to lose weight and I am trying to eat less, I still do need to eat. And with everything going on here in the United States the way it is, you are helping me eat. And I appreciate that to no end. Thumbs up and thank you. To everybody that leaves me a comment, thumbs up and thank you as well. I read every comment, that YouTube shows me. I answer as many as my nerve compression will let me, and I thumbs up as many as YouTube will let me, because occasionally it won't, and at that point I give it a heart. Rarely, though I try to remember, something is particularly witty or heartfelt, I try to heart that too, but that one's harder for me to remember. But thumbs up and thank you. And I also play an internet game of calling out either a secret word or a writing prompt for something to be written in the comment section for blatant engagement farming. And it is nice to be heard, which is why another reason I like to answer comments, because it is good to show you that you are being heard as well. But the last people that played were Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you. Gus Garrett, 6838, greatly appreciated, and I am on the net. Thank you very, very much. It is appreciated to no end. And if you have watched this far and you are interested in this sort of thing, what would your feelings be if faced with this when you walk in the front door? Or if you don't like that, if you could type Castle Rook. That would be very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up. Now, is it a requirement? No, of course not. I wouldn't force people even if I had the power to. Consent is important. But if you do decide to play, that would be very, very cool. Greatly appreciated. Definitely a thumbs up. Well, I'm going to take care of myself the rest of the day. I'm going to edit, render, upload. I'm going to try to push through the executive dysfunction and do physical things. If I cannot do that, I know I can play digital things. I'm going to watch videos and take care of myself. That's good too. I'm going for walkies later on. I'm going to go further walkies, not just to Walmart. That'll be good. I just don't want to stress that leg out too much. Ugh. Anyway, though, hopefully you will get done the things that you would like to get done. That would be cool. And if not, please do not beat yourself up, because you deserve better. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very, very good thing. Oh, here, I forgot to do that. There, yay, yay. Oh, hokey smokes. Thank you for watching if you do. I don't have many people that watch anymore. I mean, I understand why. But the fact that there are some people that do, thank you. It is appreciated.